Okay, I got our new piece of shop equipment, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. I've even left the instructions out there on how to build this thing. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Let you figure it out as I'm building it. Bring you back. Guys figure out what it is yet? Figure it out yet? Bring it back. Okay, how about now? Have you guys figured it out now? Let me take you around to the side where the name is written on it. There you go. Topside creeper. What I did was grabbed a 1/4 inch socket to the 3/8 drive. There you go, topside creeper. What you do is when you're working over like a engine bay or the like a truck mainly, that's kind of what I got it for, is working over trucks. My truck You're always going to lean over, so let's say you just walk up, lean, lay it right across the pad up there. It's also got a little pouch that they provided to put stuff in, which is kind of neat. Good idea. Gotta tell you, one thing they did screw up on is they put these Phillips head screws up in there to hold that cushion on, but they didn't provide a hole for it, so I had to use a offset screwdriver. If you didn't have an offset screwdriver, there's no way that you could get them things tight. Okay, so just as a continuation of this topside creeper, let me just show you. I put it up over the cowling of the truck, and as you can see, you get up in here, work on the engine, push it back and get back in there further. Yeah, I like it. Okay, it's Sunday. I just came in the shop to wash my truck. I made another trip to Pittsburgh yesterday. Now, I didn't go as early as I had before because two things. I had to go to the metal supermarkets in Buffalo and pick up some racks, plate steel racks, the racks that they put 4x8 sheets of plate steel in. I picked them up, and the guy that owns the place, I picked him up too, and then took him down to Pittsburgh. So I came in, the weather wasn't really bad. It was kind of cold, but it wasn't bad. It didn't really snow. I mean, it had snowed the night before, so we had snow, fresh snow on the ground, but the roads were pretty cleared off. But the truck was covered with salt again. So again, I didn't film any of the loading or unloading of the steel. What they did was, as I had said in another video on a previous trip that I had made, what they are doing is moving from one location to another location in Pittsburgh. So I just didn't film it. I had my grandson with me. He went to help also. The existing location that this guy bought was kind of in chaos. The guy that owned it previously had not taken care of the place, had not organized material at all. So there was material inside material, and things buried under other things that they didn't even know were there, and it was just chaotic. So my grandson might have gotten a couple of pictures of metal on the trailer. If he did, I'll get them from him and see if I can post a pic on this thing. But anyways, that's kind of it for Sunday and the shop update, and another haul to, well, not a haul to Pittsburgh, another trip to Pittsburgh to haul steel from one location to another location. I'll bring you back. This is it, lifting ring for the reels. The guy brought it back because exactly what I said when the build video, what I said in the build video, if I learn how to talk, it's really hard to open it up and close it back up. So what I did is welded a little tab on the side of it, and I'm going to cut a hole in it and then run a like a control rod, which is going to actually be a wire, like a piece of welding wire probably. I'll bend it so that it goes in there, pin it over, and then just run it up so that you can push it up and down using that. But I'll bring you back. Okay, here is that reel hook. And what I did is I added a little tab on the side, then put a guide up here and a wire that runs down. So and then that thing is on the bottom because that reel will bite in, the top part will bite into that side of that reel. And this piece of angle iron will kind of keep that whole thing from falling down into it. I was kind of worried because it is a little heavy, and I was kind of worried that they could drop it down into it and then they would have a time fishing it out. So there it is, fixed. Well, not fixed, modified so that you can get the thing in easier. Just cutting some channel iron for a stand for the back axle. Okay, this will be part of a shop update. Just these stands. I have these stands around. I think I have like 5 of them. But what they were is like they held a guardrail system for racks in a large warehouse, and they were throwing them out. So I was able to grab that and some some racks at the same time. So what I did, I just happened to have a piece of channel iron around, and it fit exactly into that the square of that axle. So I just tack welded it onto the top of these 2 stands, and using that for like jack stands. At some point in time, I'm going to have to rotate the axle, but there it is. Okay, as some of you know, I was kind of waiting forever for that socket to get the lug nuts off of the axle, 33 millimeter 3/4 inch drive socket. Previous to that, after I had gotten that 3/4 inch impact gun, I had told my tool guy that I wanted to get a set of sockets for the 3/4 inch. Now, if you've seen my videos on my toolbox tours, you knew that I had a drawer full of random sockets, both 1 inch and 3/4 inch drive in there. But they're just some random sockets that I had, some of them I had picked up at an auction. Other ones I had bought for specific reasons. There was some bolts on the tractor and a nut on the one of the tractor transmissions that I had to get off that I needed a larger socket for. So I had bought them. But since I got that 3/4 inch impact, I wanted a set of 3/4 inch drive sockets. So what I did is he got me this. Now, he got me it for a good deal because they have tool expos and where they can get stuff in. As you can see, it's not Mac, it's Expert, but that's Mac's kind of off-brand of things. Like Blue Point is Snap-on's, Expert is Mac's. Made in Taiwan, but at least it was made in Taiwan. Taiwanese stuff is a lot better than Chinese. There it is. It goes from 1 inch up to 2 inch in 16th increments. But there's that. So I got that at the same time that I got that 33 millimeter socket. I also got that topside creeper at the same time. And I got this too. That topside creeper, if I didn't mention it in the video, I'd been waiting for quite a while for that. I have a friend that has one of those, and that thing is so damn handy where you don't have to crawl up into the engine compartment when you're working on the engine to do stuff. You can just get up on that, and it's fairly comfortable. You're leaning on your chest, but it's fairly comfortable. What I also picked up was this ball joint puller. I've got to replace the ball joints in my truck, so I wanted to get a good ball joint puller. But at the same time, I also wanted to get something that can take care of other things. So it's a brake anchor pin pusher, U-joints, press, and the ball joint all in one. And this is kind of their smaller set. These things are missing on purpose. You can get, there's some optional stuff that you can get for it. So, but anyways, it'll work for what I need it for right now is the ball joints and probably the universals on the drive shaft of a truck. So it'll work for that. I should mention that probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, a guy came in here with my grandson, and he had a little Ford car. I don't even remember what it was. He was replacing the ball joints on it, and he didn't have a press. So we went out to Horrible Freight and bought one of theirs, and we broke the damn thing within probably the first 2 minutes of using it. And what broke was this bolt. There's threads just stripped off. They had a real fine thread on it, and I don't think it was hardened, and it just stripped the threads right off of that bolt. So I don't think I'll have an issue with this one. But anyways, that's it for this shop update. I'll bring you back.